Hello. Hi, everyone. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you all got your breakfast popcorn, and if not, there is a lot on the way out if you're feeling more like popcorn at around noon. My name is Martha Cooley, and I am the Executive Director of the Atlantic International Film Festival. Welcome to our 2022 program launch. Thank you all for being here. Before we begin, it's important to acknowledge that we are gathered together in Kjipuktuk in Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. We acknowledge that Mi'kmaq are the past, present, and future caretakers of this land, and we are all treaty people. Autumn is one of Halifax's best seasons, as I'm sure you'll all agree, and for filmmakers and film lovers, it has long been synonymous with the Atlantic International Film Festival. This is my first year as the executive director, although I have been attending the festival for close to 2 decades as a filmmaker and audience member. And today it is my honor and pleasure to tell you about what the team has planned for your film festival this fall. Importantly, while we are still monitoring public health guidelines around COVID-19, at this time we are planning a full return to in-person events, including screenings, parties, receptions, Q&As, and panels. We will not be requiring social distancing at Cineplex Park Lane this year, and masking, while encouraged, will be optional for guests and audience members at screenings and events. And even more importantly, we have a fantastic lineup of local, international, and Canadian films for you to watch and engage with. The programming team has curated a wide-ranging and diverse selection of films, and we can't wait to watch them together with you on the big screen. We're also pleased to announce that Finn Partners, our world-renowned international co-production market, will be returning to a live format this year for the first time since 2019. The last 2 editions of the conference took place online and were well received and reached delegates from around the globe. We know that attendees have greatly missed the in-person experience, however, and the type of networking that can only happen when you are in a room together. And now please welcome Morgan Salter, our Finn Partners manager, to tell you more about what we have planned for this year's delegates.
Thank you, Martha. I'm glad to be here today to tell you about Finn Partners and the impressive lineup of projects, producers, and industry leaders who will be gathering here in Halifax in just a few short weeks. This year marks the 25th anniversary of the co-production market, and that is truly cause for celebration. During the past 2 COVID years, we developed a circumstantial online event to act as a bridge until we could safely return in person. And I'm thrilled that we've arrived on the other side together in time to ring in our 25th anniversary year and welcome new and returning delegates from Canada and around the world together again. Producers are the movers and shakers that develop, pitch, champion, finance, package, produce, promote, and sell the films that you'll see during the festival. The fierce determination and creativity of independent producers has always been clear, but never before has their resolve and innovation been more on display than during the past 2 years of pandemic filmmaking. For our 25th anniversary year, we are celebrating these producers and once again providing an in-person forum to advance their projects one step closer into production. Producers, sales agents, financiers, and industry executives from the world over will be able to connect during pre-scheduled one-to-one meetings with those they've requested to meet, with nearly 1,000 meetings scheduled throughout the market. Over the 2 days, they'll participate in investor and co-production focused roundtable sessions, they'll take part in cutting-edge panels and visionary keynote speakers, and Atlantic International Film Festival screenings and receptions. This year, we are thrilled to be sharing our maritime hospitality and opening our doors to 142 delegates from 14 countries, from as far as New Zealand, Ukraine, South Africa, Colombia, the United Kingdom, the USA, and from all corners of Canada, including a strong representation of 20 producers from all 4 Atlantic provinces. Producers will attend with more than 90 creative and commercial projects in development, and this year's selected projects are fresh, original, diverse, and compelling, and span across genres and regions. 10 participating producers have 11 feature films that are playing as part of this year's Atlantic International Film Festival, including Harry Charniak, Marie Clements, Trish Dolman, Tim Doiron, Terry Greenlaw, Shant Joshi, Jane Lockman, Aeschylus Poulos, Brian Robertson, and Tony Wask. In addition to our roster of top industry delegates and projects, Finn Partners will present a series of conversations between some of the most fascinating and forward-thinking industry visionaries. This year, Finn Partners will present 2 fireside conversations and 2 case study panels that highlight authentic representation and inclusive content. Our industry programming includes Canadian and international producers and executives generously diving deep into the intricacies of their projects and process. In true maritime tradition, the market is punctuated by daily receptions and plenty of celebration, and we'll close off 2 days of productive networking and new partnerships with our world-famous lobster dinner by the sea. While our past 2 virtual events during Finn Partners have cemented new co-production and financing partnerships and have helped generate millions of dollars of projected production spend, we hadn't quite been able to pass the fresh lobster and salty air through computer screens, so we're really pleased to be able to do that and gather together again. Of course, we couldn't do any of this without the generous support of our funding partners, so I would like to thank Telefilm Canada, Nova Scotia Department of Communities, Culture, Tourism and Heritage, the Canada Media Fund, RBC Royal Bank, and ACOA. Thank you as well to all of our corporate, community, and creative partners, and thank you to the Finn team and the Finn Partners team for all their work behind the scenes to put it together. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Morgan. We're delighted to be hosting the Finn Partners delegates again in Halifax, and 25 years is certainly quite a milestone, very impressive. Let's turn our attention now to the main event, the Atlantic International Film Festival. As I mentioned, we're excited to return to full capacity screenings at Cineplex Park Lane this year. And for those of you who want to immerse themselves in all that the festival has to offer, we are bringing back our full festival pass. In addition, we are once again offering the FinStream option. FinStream is a platform to watch Atlantic Canadian films online in Atlantic Canada during the festival. Galas will be available for 24 hours from their in-cinema start time, and all other films on FinStream will be available for the full duration of the festival. As of today, our full program will be available to watch online, to view online on our website. Films can be browsed in a searchable database with trailers, synopsis, and stills. You can begin to plan what you want to watch at the festival now, and then be ready when our tickets go on sale Monday, August 29th at 10 a.m. Our box office will remain online this year. We will have an in-person support desk available at Cineplex Park Lane during the festival for those who need assistance. Seats at the theater are assigned at the time of purchase. This applies to festival pass holders as well as single ticket holders, so make sure you get your seat in advance to avoid disappointment. There will be no rush lines. For those of you who prefer the tactile experience, I'm excited to announce that we are bringing back our printed program guide. One person, claps, thank you. You'll notice this year's guide is slightly smaller and more portable than before the pandemic. We recognize that the website is the best place to get comprehensive information about the films and to connect to the online box office. The printed guide will be available at Park Lane during the festival and at select locations throughout the city the week before. Stay tuned for more information about where you can pick one up. And now, to begin our program announcements, please welcome Jason Beaudry, Director of Programming.
We got it that time. Thank you, Martha, and welcome aboard, and welcome to all of you today. Thank you here for being with us at Cineplex Cinemas Park Lane. It kind of feels like coming home. I'd like to start by thanking each and every filmmaker who shared their work with us to consider for this year's event. If one thing is for certain, you make our tasks more challenging every year. There is so much excellent work being made in our region, this nation, and the world that we agonize over many difficult decisions as the final film program is created. If you're a filmmaker in attendance today, can I ask you to raise your hand? Let's give them all a huge round of applause. And if you're a filmmaker, can you do me a favor and introduce yourself to someone you've never met before you leave today? You might just meet your next collaborator. Before we reveal this year's film program, I'd also like to take a moment to thank the programming team for their Herculean efforts. The time and care you bring to your colossal task is appreciated, and I'm certain that the festival's audiences will be blown away by the results. And last but certainly not least, a huge thank you to the entire team of the Atlantic International Film Festival, including both staff and volunteers. It truly takes a village to put on this event every September, and without your courage and determination, no matter the obstacle, none of this would be possible. And now on to the films. You want to hear about some films? Does anybody out there like movies? Let's sing, I like movies! One more time. See, you're already doing my job for me, and you'll figure that out in a little bit. We once again did a quick tally of the languages in this year's film program, and we might have missed one or two, we usually do, but if you take the plunge into the festival's program, you're bound to hear the following. Arabic, Armenian, Cree, Dutch, Flemish, French, German, Haitian Creole, Hindi, Inuktitut, Italian, Japanese, Korean, Ilnuk, Ojibwe, Mandarin Chinese, Mi'kmaq, Puri, Persian, Polish, Romanian, Russian, Spanish, Swahili, Thai, Turkish, Vietnamese, Wolastoqey, and even a language invented for a film called Morad. That's 29 languages total. There may be one or two of those that you've never even heard spoken before. All the more reason to dive into the program and see what's in store. As has been a long-standing tradition at the festival, the cornerstone of our programming will be a showcase of Atlantic Canadian productions with close to 80 films, both feature-length and short, from the 4 Atlantic provinces featured in this year's lineup. And along with in-theater presentations, many of the Atlantic Canadian productions in this year's program will also be featured on the festival's online platform, FinStream, which is available to viewers across Atlantic Canada. We'll start today's film programming announcements with details of the 2022 documentary program. We're showcasing some amazing documentary talent from Atlantic Canada this year. The program includes the following. From New Brunswick, My Name is Wollastock, directed by Meet Gaffney, and You Can Call Me Roger, directed by John Mann. From Newfoundland and Labrador, The Incredible Vanishing Sisters and the Death of the Garden of Eden by Kenneth J. Harvey. And Who Will Sing for Me, directed by Roger Bill and Tristan Clark. From Nova Scotia, Sister Dorothy Moore, A Life of Courage, Determination, and Love, directed by Mary Jane Harkins, and The Work, directed by Daniel McIver. And from Prince Edward Island, we have The Ice Walk, directed by Eliza Knockwood. We have a number of great Canadian and international titles that will be presented exclusively in theater at Cineplex Cinemas Park Lane as part of this year's documentary program. They are as follows. 752 is Not a Number, directed by Babak Payami. The Adventures of Saul Bellow, directed by Asaf Galay. All Man, the International Mail Story, directed by Brian Darling and Jesse Friendly Reed. And Still I Sing, directed by Priscilla Amiri. Batata, directed by Nura Kevorkian. Category, Woman, directed by Phyllis Ellis. Crows Are White, directed by Hassan Nadim. Dear Audrey, directed by Jeremiah Haynes. Eternal Spring, directed by Jason Loftus. Hunting in Packs, directed by Chloe Sosa Sims. I Didn't See You There, directed by Reed Davenport. Let There Be Drums, directed by Justin Kreutzmann. $1 Million Pigeons, directed by Gavin Fitzgerald. My Name is Andrea, directed by Parita Paramar. Okay, the ASD Band film, directed by Mark Bone. Revival 69, the concert that rocked the world, a world premiere directed by Ron Chapman. Subject, directed by Camilla Hall and Jennifer Teixeira. Tiger 24, directed by Warren Perriera. To Kill a Tiger, directed by Nisha Pua. And Voices Across the Water, directed by Fritz Muller. Now, everyone that knows me knows I can talk your ear off for hours on end about each and every film I just mentioned, but in the interest of your time and the team's long hours of hard work in preparing all of the details for you, I'll ask you to visit finfestival.ca this afternoon to check out information on each and every film announced today. Today's press release also includes a full film program listing for those who want to see absolutely everything in a compact document. Let's travel on to the features program, shall we? This year's features program includes many well-established filmmakers alongside new voices with stories that will entertain and inspire the festival's audience. They are as follows. Adult Adoption, directed by Karen Knox. Aftersun, directed by Charlotte Wells. Before I Change My Mind, directed by Trevor Anderson. Cette Maison, directed by Miriam Charles. Close, directed by Lucas Dont. Ennis Main, directed by Mark Jenkins. Falcon Lake, directed by Charlotte Lamont. Westera, directed by Michelle Garza Severa. Hunt, directed by Lee Jung-jae. I Like Movies. There we go. You got my job done for me. I Like Movies, directed by Chandler Levac. Metronome, directed by Alexander Wilk. North of Normal, directed by Carly Stone. Pacifiction, directed by Albert Serra. Piggy, directed by Carlota Martinez Pereira. Polaris, directed by Kristen Carthew. Ravi Kernatz versus George W. Bush, directed by Andreas Dresen. Relax, I'm from the Future, directed by Luke Higginson. Return to Seoul, directed by David Cho. Rosie, directed by Gail Maurice. So Much Tenderness, directed by Lena Rodriguez. Something in the Dirt, directed by Justin Benson and Aaron Moorhead. Something You Said Last Night, directed by Luis De Felipas. Stay the Night, directed by Renika Giapalin. Missed two. Stellar, directed by Darlene Aponce. The Swearing Jar, directed by Lindsay McKay. Unidentified Objects, directed by Juan Felipe Zuleta. Until Branches Bend, directed by Sophie Jarvis. You Can Live Forever, directed by Mark Slutsky and Sarah Watts. The Young Arsonists, directed by Sheila Pye. And the closing film of this year's features program will be the feature debut of Halifax filmmaker and festival favorite Kevin Hartford with the original and sharp-witted comedy Lemon Squeezy. Returning this year from a brief hiatus is the festival's Restored program. The success of our modest Agnes Varda tribute and retrospective in 2019 has inspired us to once again focus our showcase on of recently restored films on the works of a single filmmaker. This year, we will focus on the work of Polish filmmaker Krzysztof Kieślowski, featuring newly restored editions of some of his seminal work, including the Three Colors trilogy of Blue, White, and Red, which stars Juliette Binoche, Julie Delpy, and Irene Jacob, respectively, along with The Double Life of Véronique, which showcases yet another luminous performance by Irene Jacob. The festival will also help celebrate the launch of an ambitious project entitled Activating the Archive, Margaret Perry and the Nova Scotia Film Bureau, with the works of Margaret Perry, a short film program spanning the length of her career, screening on Tuesday, September 20th, followed by a roundtable discussion. The festival's retrospective short film program will be part of 3 nights of events to mark the digital release of the career work of Margaret Perry, the filmmaker and director who made over 50 films for the Nova Scotia Film Bureau from 1945 to 1969. These promotional films depict the province as a site of tourism, industry, labor, and heritage, and are complex artifacts that articulate and reflect understandings of government policy, cultural discourse, as well as Perry's own perspectives and artistic voice. In addition to the festival's retrospective screening, there will also be a free reception to celebrate the project's launch at the Public Archives of Nova Scotia on Monday, September 19th, and a talk delving into the Activating the Archive project at the Halifax Central Library on Wednesday, September 21st. This year, our shorts roster features 5 Atlantic Shorts programs in NextGen, all of which include work from Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island, New Brunswick, and Newfoundland and Labrador. Our first program offers an insightful examination of environment and culture. Music Resistance from Eric Muse Saunders, Living in Flow, Claire Parsons by Megan Wright, I See You from Amy Treffry, and Whittaker by Brett Hannum, and more. The second program illuminates themes of self-exploration and personal discovery. Picture Yourself by Tracy Levine, Silk from Lance Kenneth Blakely, Finale by Jacob Puris, Fizzy from Coombe, Fishbowl by Veda Nair, and more. Our third program is A Poignant Valentine to Love, Friendship, and Loss, Dead Wife Club by Shara Desiree King, Grown in Darkness from Devin Shears, Waiting on Arrival by Emily Ellis, First Kiss from Margaret Donahoe, Jerry Can by Ariana Marquis, and more. The fourth program pays homage to traditions, culture, and ways of the past. Dad and the Fridge Box by Mary Walsh, Cicerone from Ty Giffen, Heard by David Borsch, Tender by Daniel MacGyver, and more. Our fifth program illustrates artistic craft, expression, and skill. Throwing Paint by Abby McLeod and Josepha Cameron, Science Project from Brandon Hicks, Sugaring by Clem McIntosh, The Strange Universe of Shannon Charles Plow from Shane Prendergast, Popcorn Poodles by Megan McDonald, and more. Within Next Gen, we highlight the work from emerging local filmmakers, and this year's lineup includes Arlene from Jody Rasico, Sorry Mummy by Kelly Casely, Flat from Sam Vino, Thumbs Up by Michael Jonathan Sims, Me Tee from Bryn Nickel, and more innovative work. All Atlantic short films will be presented at Cineplex Cinemas Park Lane, as well as in programs on our FinStream platform for the duration of the festival. We also have 3 shorts programs featuring Canadian and international selections. Outside the Atlantic provinces comes a beautiful story of an aging dog in Dream On Leon from Roger Gaetti, a snapshot of Toronto's East Chinatown in 100 Joys by Amanda Ann Min Wong, a glimpse into struggling bee colonies with Simone Gaet's Gentle Humble Spring, a medical student's grim placement with No Ghost in the Morgue by Marilyn Cook, and At Dusk by Miriam Charles, a class trip rife with icy and inner challenges. Our global films include the moving Iranian-made Adjustment from Mayor Adnan Hassani, a modern pastoral short, Fire at the Lake by Tahir Menahem, Persona, an animated story of discovery from Sun Jin Moon, A Voyage into Space with the Pioneers by Simone Kuti, and a magical adventure with a girl meets a boy and a robot from Watanabe Senshiro. From animation and documentary to comedic relief and depictions of grief, our outstanding short selections are sure to entertain, surprise, and inspire festival goers. And now for the special presentations program. Featuring the newest and most anticipated films of the year, moviegoers will want to be first in line to savor the sights and sounds of soon-to-be award-winning films. Let's start with the Atlantic leading productions in the special presentations program. Marching the feature filmmaking debut of well-known Halifax journalist and multidisciplinary artist Tara Thorne, Compulsus has its Atlantic Canada premiere at the festival after celebrated screenings at both the Inside Out and Fantasia Film Festivals. Congratulations to Tara. Not to be outdone, award-winning actor, director, writer, and producer, and Halifax's own Coombe, brings the world premiere of her debut feature to the festival in Bystanders. Congratulations, Coombe. Both of these films feature incredible performances from an ensemble cast and are true highlights of this year's festival. Make sure you don't miss them and tell your friends. Rounding out the special presentations are the following award-winning or soon-to-be award-winning films. Alice Darling, directed by Mary Nagy. Black Ice, directed by Oscar-nominated and Canadian filmmaker Hubert Davis. Broker, directed by Hirasaku Koreeda. Buffy St. Marie, Carry It On, directed by Madison Thomas. Call Jane, directed by Phyllis Nagy. Framing Agnes, directed by Chase Joint. Holy Spider, directed by Ali Abbasi. Peter Von Kant, directed by Francois Ozon. The Return of Tanya Tucker, featuring Brandy Carlisle, directed by Catherine Warren. Rice Boy Sleeps, from Korean-Canadian filmmaker and actor Anthony Shim. The Sun, directed by Florian Zeller. And Triangle of Sadness, directed by Ruben Osmond. Now, before we move on to our gala announcements, the festival team, with the assistance of Beechwood Productions, has put together a sizzle reel to give you just a taste of what's in store for the festival's audiences in September. Enjoy.
Thanks again, Jason, and congratulations on an amazing program. It's many, many films, and there's still more to announce. So congratulations. I'm excited to announce that for the first time since 2019, you are once again invited to join us September 15th for a full opening night gala. The evening will include, of course, our opening night gala film, which Jason will tell you about shortly, as well as our opening night gala celebration. The opening night gala celebration is always a high-energy gathering of filmmakers, film industry, and audience. And this year, we are pleased to return to the historic Wag-Waltic Club on the Northwest Arm. We do hope you join us. In addition to that party, which launches the 8-day festival, we are also bringing back our popular Atlantic Gala Party. This event will take place following the Atlantic Gala film on Friday, September 16th at the Cable Wharf on the Halifax waterfront. And our closing night party on Thursday, September 22nd, will be at the new Lighthouse Arts Centre on Argyle Street. Several of our community partners are also once again hosting receptions and parties during the festival, including the National Film Board, WIFT-AT, and the Atlantic Filmmakers Cooperative. And finally, we are pleased to bring back our in-person awards ceremony in collaboration with AVCOOP's Linda Joy Awards and the Good Robot Brewing Company. In addition to parties, other in-person events this year will include our RBC Script Development Pitch Competition. At this event, you can watch 5 emerging screenwriters pitch their projects to an industry jury in the hopes of winning the grand prize of $10,000 in development money. Over the summer, our screenwriters have been working under the guidance of writer-director Breton Hannum, and we're excited to see how their projects have developed. We will also have a series of daytime panels this year, led by host and director Stephanie Jolene, and featuring local and visiting filmmakers. These panels will take place Monday to Wednesday right here in the cinema, and all those events will be free. Finally, we're proud to announce that this year we'll be paying artist fees to all the filmmakers whose work we screen at the festival. In the past, we paid fees for the majority of the work we programmed, but this year we've made it our policy to do so across the board. This policy is in recognition of the fact that artists are workers, that filmmaking is a job, and that everyone should be paid for their work. As a filmmaker myself, and having worked for many years in the world of independent production in Atlantic Canada, I know how important this is in a very tangible way. Now I'd like to turn to the announcement of the gala films for this year's festival. Speaking of Atlantic Canada, we are proud to include 2 feature films in the gala program this year that were made here in Nova Scotia. First on my list to announce is the Atlantic Gala presentation of Bernie Langell Wants to Know What Happened to Bernie Langell, award for longest title. The film tells the story of a grandson trying to find out what happened to his grandfather and namesake, a military corporal who died under mysterious circumstances. Through the use of miniature sets, we are able to travel back in time to 1968 as Bernie pieces together fragments of the bizarre tale that has kept his family emotionally frozen in time. The Atlantic Gala screening will take place Friday, September 16th, starting at 7 p.m. Online access through FinStream will also be available for 24 hours starting at 7 p.m. And as I mentioned, there will be a party following the screening at the Cable Wharf on the Halifax waterfront. Now here's a trailer from Bernie Langell Wants to Know What Happened to Bernie Langell, the festival's Friday night Atlantic Gala.
How old were you when you first became aware of the story?
Best I could describe it is as young enough that it feels like it's always been there.
I never met my grandfather. He died approximately 15 years before I was born. Aunt Jean said that this changed the family's lives forever.
Each of our lives were turned upside down.
There's a clip where Bernie is dancing with Annie. I realized he looked happier than maybe I might have ever felt. I can use this to maybe put some family connections back together.
There was something there in one of these letters.
How do I decide what's the truth?
My hope for you is that you get to a point where you don't have to carry the story one way or the other.
I'm not there yet.
Please join me in welcoming producer and director Jessica Brown and Jackie Torrance.
Hello. Nice to see everybody. Well, I guess Martha said who we are. I'm Jackie Torrance. I'm the director of the film.
I'm Jessica Brown. I'm the producer of the film, along with our executive producer, Teresa McGinnis. We want to thank the film programmers for including our film in this year's festival. In fact, for showing every film that our female-owned company, Peat Media, has made over the past 10 years. We appreciate the support of film, and we also want to congratulate Martha Cooley, the festival's new executive director.
And we also want to thank Finn for giving our film a gala presentation, and the reception afterwards. They have offered to display some of the sets used in the film, and this is an incredible opportunity to showcase the creativity of the two Nova Scotia miniaturist artists, Shelley Acker and Iris Sutherland, who never worked in film before and who created 18 different sets based on the Langell family story. So thank you for that opportunity.
We also want to thank, of course, the Documentary Channel and CBC and Jordana Ross for commissioning this project. We're also grateful to the men and women in our crew who worked so hard to get this film done.
And we want to thank the Langell family for their generosity and participation in the film as well. Finally, we want to thank Bernie Langell, who is the the grandson of Corporal Langell. He's the star of our film. We want to thank him for his openness and willingness to journey back into the past and take us with him.
So as Martha mentioned, our film plays Friday, September 16th at 7, and we're very much looking forward to all of you to come and see our little sets and the film.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Jackie and Jessica. And yes, the sets are quite something to see, so I hope you all are able to join us. This year's gala presentations also feature the Atlantic Canadian premiere of Ashley Mackenzie's Queens of the Qing Dynasty. In a remote small town, Star, a neurodiverse teen, forms an unlikely rapport with An, an international student from Shanghai volunteering at the local hospital. Between the two, a bond forms, cemented by their candid conversations, nightly text messages, and exchange of their deepest secrets. The boundaries of their friendship quickly expand into something special, altering both Star and An's inner alchemy. The film will screen Wednesday, September 21st, starting at 7 p.m. And now here's a clip from Queens of the Qing Dynasty, the festival's Wednesday night Atlantic Gala.
I will be a housewife and make you dinner. Will you be my husband? Here.
I'm making you work. We're using different objects. I'm bloating.
Well, this is zucchini. I looked it up when I was in grocery store because they only had white people vegetables.
I'm eating evil fruit.
Hi again. It's been a while. Also included in this year's gala presentations is the Real East Coast Shorts Gala. Presented by CBC, the Real East Coast Shorts Gala features 9 short films from an impressive cast of Atlantic Canadian filmmakers, including Jenna Marks with Omar Akour, Desmond Simon with The Boar in the Basket, Chloe Van Lanschut and Neve Wilson with Title, Milfior Clarks with Grandmothers, Elizabeth Hicks with Bounce, Mel Hattie with the Mi'kmaq Honor Song Translation Project, Prawala Dixit with Love Amma, Tori Martin Fleming with Keeper, and Scott Jones with Coin Slot. This gala presentation screening at Cineplex Cinemas Park Lane takes place on Sunday, September 18th, starting at 7 p.m. Online access through FinStream will also be available for 24 hours, starting at 7 p.m. on Sunday, September 18th. The remainder of the gala presentations lineup features some of the best Canadian and international titles of the year. They are as follows. Winner of Best Director at the 2022 Cannes Film Festival, Decision to Leave is a blend of investigative drama, romance, and unexpected humor. Korean director Park Chan-wook's latest masterpiece eschews the breaking of taboos of his previous work for a deep drama which includes subtle emotional tremors which coexist with pulsating inner waves. Screenings at Cineplex Cinemas Park Lane take place on Saturday, September 17th, starting at 7 p.m. Here's a trailer for Decision to Leave.
많이 놀라셨겠습니다.
우리 일을 그렇게 말하지 말아요.
우리 일 무슨 일이? 내가 그렇게 만만합니까?
내가 그렇게 나쁩니까?
Just a little aside, including A Decision to Leave, there's actually 5 Korean films in this year's festival program, and they're among some of the best films that have been made across the world this year, so definitely check them all out. Written and directed by award-winning filmmaker and playwright Marie Clements, Bones of Crows is told through the eyes of Cree matriarch Eileen Spears as she survives a childhood in Canada's residential school system to continue her family's generational fight in the face of systemic starvation, racism, and sexual abuse. She uses her uncanny ability to understand and translate codes into working for a special division of the Canadian Air Force as a Cree code talker in World War II. The story unfolds over 100 years with a cumulative force that propels us into the future. It's a really epic telling of a beautiful story. Screenings at Cineplex Cinemas Park Lane takes place on Monday, September 19th, starting at 7 p.m. Un Beau Matin, director Mian Hansen Love's latest film, is a tender love letter to Paris that follows Sandra, played by Léa Seydoux, as she cares for both her 8-year-old daughter as well as her father, who suffers from a neurodegenerative disease. While struggling to secure a decent nursing home, Sandra runs into a friend who, although being in a relationship, embarks on an affair with her. Screenings at Cineplex Cinemas Park Lane take place on Tuesday, September 20th, starting at 7 p.m. And here's a clip from Un Beau Matin, the festival's Tuesday night gala.
Sandra Kinsler? Vous êtes la fille de Georg Kinsler?
Oui, c'est moi.
Il m'avait dit que vous étiez traductrice, j'étais une de ses élèves.
Ah, d'accord.
Ouais, c'était un prof génial, ça m'arrive encore de relire ses cours.
Bah, je dirais, ça lui fera plaisir.
Est-ce que vous voulez bien me donner son mail? J'aimerais bien lui écrire.
Oui. Je vais vous donner le mien, parce qu'il a des difficultés pour lire. Il vaut mieux que vous m'écriviez et je lui lirai.
Il va bien?
Il a des problèmes de santé.
Ah bon, j'espère que c'est pas trop grave.
C'est une bête. Pardon, au revoir.
There are tears, but it's not all sad. It's a beautiful film. We only have 2 more left, the closer and then the opener. So the festival's closing night gala will be Darren Aronofsky's The Whale, featuring a career-defining performance from Brendan Fraser. Based on the play by Samuel D. Hunter and stippled with Moby Dick musings, The Whale is a nod to mortality and meaning. Charlie is an earnestly encouraging English teacher facing a bleak battle with obesity. He conceals himself from online students and limits outside interaction, but becomes desperate to fast-track a final reconnection with his teenage daughter, Ellie. A young missionary imposes the promise of hope in the afterlife, and a nurse keeps reality in check. But Charlie's final plea is an ache to feel something, anything, real, honest, and raw. Screenings at Cineplex Cinemas Park Lane take place on Thursday, September 22nd, starting at 7 p.m. And in our final announcement, the festival is honored to present Brother as the opening night gala presentation of the 2022 Atlantic International Film Festival. Brother is the story of Francis and Michael, sons of Caribbean immigrants maturing into young men amidst Scarborough's pulsing 1990s hip-hop scene. Exploring themes of masculinity, identity, and family, a mystery unfolds during the sweltering summer of 1991, and escalating tensions set off a series of events that change the course of the brothers' lives forever. Brother is adapted from the award-winning novel by David Cheriandy by acclaimed filmmaker Clement Virgo, who has a strong and long relationship with the festival and Atlantic Canada, with some of his most celebrated works, such as The Horror Boys Game and The Book of Negroes, having shot right here in Nova Scotia. Brother crafts a timely and essential story about the profound bond between siblings, the resilience of a community, and the irrepressible power of music. Screenings at Cineplex Cinemas Park Lane take place on Thursday, September 15th, starting at 7 p.m. And while Clement couldn't be here with us today, he was nice enough to send along a little message for me to read to you, and here it is. I'm thrilled to be back at the Atlantic Film Festival. It's one of the great film festivals of Canada. I've shot movies in Nova Scotia and have been coming to this festival for over 20 years. It's always good to be back and reconnect with the Atlantic audience. I feel honored to be showcasing our film Brother, which is about the Canadian immigrant experience, here on opening night as the opening gala presentation. We thank Clement, and we know you will enjoy Brother, the opening night gala of this year's film festival. And I'd like to invite Martha back up to the podium to say a few final words. Thank you.
Thanks, Jason. In closing, I'd like to take a moment to give a special thanks to all those who make this event possible, including our partners in the corporate world, as well as our government funders. These past 2 years have been challenging for everyone, and as a nonprofit arts organization, we have not been immune to those challenges. We are very thankful in particular to the various COVID-19 relief programs and reopening grants offered by the federal and provincial government, which have made it possible for us to put on a full festival for you this year. And of course, a very heartfelt thanks to all the festival staff, board, and volunteers for their tremendous work organizing this year's event. As someone who is new to this organization, I am overwhelmed with the professionalism and passion that I've seen from the whole festival team, and I'm honored to be in their midst. The box office opens Monday, August 29th at 10 a.m. All the films we've talked about today are available to peruse online in a searchable database today, and you can begin planning your 2022 Atlantic International Film Festival starting now. We look forward to sharing what we've planned with you in a few short weeks, and we're delighted to be together again. This concludes our program launch. There will be 2 photo backdrops in the lobby for media and interviews, and for any of the filmmakers in attendance, do stick around in case the press wants to talk to you about your film. Thank you so much for coming, and hope to see you at the festival.